Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. We are going to be taking a look at this Orient Kamasu diver, very beautiful, affordable diver from the Japanese domestic market. Now this thing retails for about 48,000 yen, sells for about 35,000 yen, which with today's conversion rates is right around 320 US dollars. So it's a nice affordable watch. I think this competes very well against the Seiko Turtle, which is one of my favorite picks at this price range. Now it's gonna do some things better than the Turtle and then a couple things not quite as good in my opinion, but for the price point, it really does pack a pretty good value punch. I really enjoy a good value proposition. So let me put some dimensions here on the screen and let me talk about the first thing that you notice when you see this watch, and that is this beautiful red dial, this burgundy dial. I would say it's subtle, it's understated. Like in most lights, it appears deep red or even black. And then when you get it in direct light, you really see those red tones come to play and you see the color changing nature of the dial. And it is stunning. So it's understated, yet it's powerful at the same time. So I really like this red dial. There's a shortage of burgundy dial watches out there on the watch market. You know, outside of a Tudor style, I can't really think of one off the top of my head that is done very well like this one. This one is very sharp. And I think would surprise you. You might think, oh no, it's too bold, it's too quirky. It really isn't. It's very handsome and very fun to wear. Now my wrists are 7.25 inches in circumference. I enjoy a larger watch. I can pull off a Seiko Turtle just fine. You know, a 45 millimeter diameter watch, but there are a lot of people that are just not interested in doing that. And so this one coming in just over 41 millimeter, having a short lug to lug length. So it has a smaller, more diminutive feel. I think this one's gonna appeal to you. This one is gonna fit a wide range of wrists. You know, it's versatile, it's handsome, it's understated yet bold, and surprisingly weighty. When I picked this up, you know, when I first unboxed it, I was expecting a lighter watch, but this has a nice amount of stainless steel. So I think it strikes just that sweet spot, a good blend of being comfortable, but having nice wrist presence. So I am a fan of what Orient has done. They have a lot of nice details here. So let's talk about some of those. Let's go in on the dial and take a look on a high magnification level, on a macro level. You guys can see applied markers, beautiful color changing nature, again, to this dial. And then you see an applied logo just below the 12 o'clock position with some nice crisp Orient and automatic printing done in white. If you look at the handset, it's nice and polished. I think it looks much better than the brushed handset of the Orient Triton, and I think looks more substantial than the Seiko Turtle handset that is again at the same price point. We have a day and date complication framed at the 3 o'clock position. I really like seeing the kanji date wheel. It does have an English date wheel as well, but I set it to kanji. I just really enjoy seeing that on a Japanese domestic market watch. Now the movement. This is an in-house caliber from Orient. It's known as the F6922 movement. It's a 3 Hertz movement. It's automatic. It's hacking. It has 22 joules and about a 40-hour power reserve. Now it's going to have a stated accuracy of plus 25 seconds to minus 15 seconds daily acceptable deviation rate. And that sounds a little scary, especially for spending, you know, $300 on a watch. But I would say that Orient is erring on the side of conservatism. It's not likely that you're going to get a watch that's that inaccurate. This one is running at plus 5 seconds per day, which I think is awesome for the price. And if you talk to other Orient owners, other Seiko owners that have 4Rs and 6Rs, you're gonna be able to, I mean, the norm is more accurate rather than less accurate. But at the same time, it is kind of a luck of the draw scenario. You could get a watch that has, you know, plus 20 seconds per day, and Orient or Seiko will tell you, tough luck, you know, you get what you get and you don't get upset. So that always is a concern, but I would say on the whole, you're gonna get a nice accurate movement like mine at plus 5 seconds per day and running very strongly. Now let's talk about a couple other highlights of the watch, then we'll go into some negative aspects. I love the bezel action. The bezel action feels like a high-end Seiko. It feels like a Transocean. It feels like a Marine Master 300. It does not feel like a $300 watch. It does beat the snot out of an SKX, out of a Turtle, even out of the Sumo, the Blue Coral Sumo that I have down there on the table. The bezel action is very impressive here on this Kamasu diver, and yes, everything does line up perfectly, as you guys can see. Now, what would be some shortcomings of the watch? I know I've talked it up at being beautiful and high quality and sapphire and this and that, but it does have some negative aspects. One would be the luminescence. It's not bad. I would say it's adequate. It's decent. It's better than what you'd find on Swiss competition, but not quite as good as what you'd find on like a Seiko Sumo. It just leaves a little something to be desired. I mean, it's potent. It has good longevity, but it's not quite as good as Seiko LumiBrite. Now, if we look at the case, I'm gonna be a little critical here. I like the case polishing, but I would like to see a stronger line of delineation between the polished edges and the brushed tops of the lugs. It's a little bit too blended for my eyes. I'd like to see a stronger line there. We do have a signed crown. Overall, the finishing is good. I might be a little bit nitpicky here, but I would like to see that. I think it would improve the overall feel and user experience of the watch. Now, the other thing is the factory bracelet. I have the bracelet down there on the table, and it's decent. It's an oyster style. The links are held together via friction pins or split pins. We have a signed clasp, pressed metal, hollow end links. And so it's adequate. It's comfortable, it's decent, but it doesn't quite cut it for me. So I put it on this polished Milanese mesh that just looks beautiful and enhances the watch, because you know the Kamasu diver, it's very versatile, and you wouldn't think so with being a bold color, but it is a very versatile watch. So I have it on mesh. It would look awesome on rubber. I'll show you a picture of this on a shell Cordovan, a black shell Cordovan. One of the strengths is it is a very versatile watch and does look good on a number of different strap options. But overall, this is a very solid watch for the money. You know, you're getting the great bezel action, you're getting a good in-house movement, you're getting the details of the dial, the presence, you're getting the sapphire, you're getting the versatility, and you know, you're getting it all for $300 or so, which I think is, you know, very powerful. So yes, this does beat the snot out of an SKX. And again, I know this isn't popular to say, but that's not that hard to do. Orient, I think, definitely set their sights up a little bit higher up on the totem pole, and they're going after the Seiko Turtle. In fact, they've done such a nice job with this. There will be some that consider this one over the Orient Triton, which is an excellent dive watch. I think this one has some mass appeal that the Triton probably doesn't quite carry, given its K-shape, power reserve indicator, and whatnot. Now, I'm gonna answer a question that I get pretty frequently, and that is, Bruce, if you're in the United States and you buy a watch from Japan, do you ever have to pay an extra fee or duty or charge or tax? And I'll say, after years of buying Japanese domestic market watches from a host of different sellers, I've never paid an extra fee or duty or charge. It's all included in the upfront price, which I really appreciate. Now, I got this watch from JapanOnlineStore.com. I will say, in full disclosure, that Kenta did gift me this watch so that I could present it, but hopefully you guys have seen throughout the course of the video that I've been objective and measured in praising it, as well as talking about the negative aspects. So if you're interested in this one, I will put a link to it where you can check out this Kamasu diver. You can check out other Orient and Seiko, Grand Seiko, Citizen, Casio, the Citizen. Kenta has quite a bit of selection, a lot of great stuff. And Japan, they really save the best for themselves, which I think is awesome. So there's a link in the description. Thanks for taking the time to watch today, guys. I appreciate it. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you in the next video.